I work with a lot of activists who are trying to fight poverty or challenge inequality. And for them, there's a realization that having better information, better data, is going to help them make a stronger argument. You know, we talk about the data revolution, but for it to be really revolutionary, we want people to use data to make a better world, to push for social change. And that's why I'm here. I'm so excited about this gathering. Data revolution to me is like any other revolution. We want to change the world to improve society. You know, we want to use the power of information to empower people, to fight inequality, to fight climate change. And we've never had such an opportunity because of technology and the tools we now have to collect data, to use information to make the world a better place.
You named a lot of issues. Where can the effective use of data make the biggest impact?
There's no end to innovation in this area. If you take something like corruption, citizens all around the world are saying enough is enough, and they're using their mobile phones or the internet to report when they're asked for a bribe. And all of a sudden, governments can't hide behind their own statistics and now have to confront the fact that citizens are taking the power of information back in their own hands. If you take environmental pollution, there's a fabulous example where divers, people who are diving in the ocean, are using their mobile phones to report where they see waste, rubbish in the water. And all of a sudden we have 500,000 people who've contributed to this amazing database of where there's pollution in the environment. Now, they're not doing it because they want to collect information. They're doing it because they want to stop pollution, and they're creating a new data revolution to end pollution in the environment.
Which are the biggest challenges we will face about data in our near future?
I think the biggest challenge about data is the biggest challenge about the world. It's about power. If we don't do something, those companies, those organizations, those governments who have the money and who control the power will use data and information against everybody else. That it'll be the big companies who will control the use of information. It'll be governments that will surveil people and activists for their own information, for their own interests. So we really have to challenge the power infrastructure behind data. We don't need just better statistics, we need cleverer politics. I think the data revolution, if we don't put in enough safeguards, can do more damage than good by invading our privacy, by reinforcing the power of those who already have it, by deepening inequality. So one of the challenges for those of us who care about equality and dignity is that we have to control the private companies and the governments who want to use the power of the data revolution against ordinary people. This festival is important for me because it brings together a range of people, not just the experts, but also the activists. It's important that we're also having this conversation in Colombia because this issue is not about West versus the rest or the rich versus the poor. It's about creating a new infrastructure for how the world should be. And countries like Colombia, because they are, middle-income countries, they're not poor anymore, but they're not rich, have to take a leadership role in redefining this new landscape. So I'm really happy to have this conversation with so many people, but here in Cartagena, in Colombia.